How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're having a look over a painting that I just finished up today. If you caught my last video on how to read gesso on old canvas, this is using that same canvas. So in the future, I'm hoping to have a gallery night of some sort, for which I wanted a new series of paintings, something that flows well and works together, as a lot of my back catalogue seems to sort of be a little bit disjointed. It's a bit all over the place, so I wanted something that's nice and consistent. So I'm revisiting a theme and style I touched on a few years ago, in which I really enjoyed, and that is this surreal and dreamlike sort of composition that I've come up with here. So just to give you a bit of an idea of my workflow, I originally came up with the idea and then took to shooting one of my old film cameras for the piece. So the digital camera that I use for all of my photography and videography is a Canon 60D, and for those that know their film cameras, the one in this piece is an Olympus OM2. I then visited my archives of travel photography and looked at some interesting waterfalls, ultimately deciding on this one, which is a waterfall in Grenau, Austria, that I shot last year when I was traveling across Europe for 3 months. So I chose this one in particular because I felt like it would work really well flowing from the top left section of the lens to ultimately spilling out of the bottom of the lens. I then used Photoshop to merge the images and create my composition, and then it was time to start painting. In this video, you're going to see me use tape quite a bit. Earlier on the piece, when I was blocking in the basic shapes, I realised it was going to be pretty important to have consistent straight lines, since the camera is very geometric and blocky. So I used tape to get nice, defined and straight edges. One thing to note, however, if you are doing this, is to be careful that your paint isn't too watery, because it can dribble under the tape and cause fixable but annoying problems. Something else I decided relatively early on was that I wanted the camera to be quite cool in tone and have the inner lens section of the waterfall to be the opposite, quite warm and vibrant, ultimately bringing it to the front. It's been a while since I painted a natural landscape, so it took a little bit to get back into the groove of things. Like everything else in painting, layers is important here. For the rocks and grass, I mainly worked wet on wet to get nice gradual tones to 3 or 4 shades, and then I pulled highlights from the shapes to create smaller formations, whether it was rocks or layers of shrub. This is an easy way to create the illusion of depth. Speaking of depth, something else to note here is the top left section of the rocks is painted in a cooler tone to give the illusion that it is further away than the rocks in the front. Overall, I'm really stoked for this painting. It's been nice to sink a lot of time and effort into some personal work for a change. I'm also really enjoying just working in this surreal and kind of dreamlike space, and I'm super keen to back it up with something similar. But I would love to hear what you guys think, so drop a comment below whether it's about the painting or any feedback for the video. If you have made it this far, forgive me for being sick, my voice is a little bit all over the shop in this one. Anyways guys, that's it for this week's video. I'm going to let the tunes ride this one out, and I'll catch you in the next one.